Okay, welcome to the first podcast of Playable Lies. This is Paul Kapustka, and this is going to be one of those things where you go back and say, hey, I listened to this podcast back when the dude had no production and just did it off the microphone on his desk. So when we're famous, we're on ESPN, you can say you were with us when. This is podcast numero uno. The first one. Let me roll out the segments, so if you want, you can skip ahead to the stuff that is most important to you. We're going to start off with a quick recap of last weekend's PGA action, and that'll include the stuff out in the desert. Then we're going to skip on to our Places to Play segment, where we will give you a quick rundown on a course we think you should check out and play here in Northern California. Then the next segment will be we'll be talking about gear. I'm going to be looking to buy some new golf clubs this year and want to get a whole discussion started around that. And then finally we'll wrap up with the website you should visit, sort of like a Follow Friday thing on Twitter. Okay, so no further ado, let's roll into the PGA Tour recap. And there was, one of the bigger, I guess Brandt Snedeker won the Farmers Open down in Torrey Pines. But nobody was really talking about the winner after that tournament. Everybody was talking about poor Kyle Stanley, who triple bogeyed the last hole to get into a playoff and then lost to Snedeker on 2 holes. People were saying, oh my God, I can't believe it. How could this guy happen? How could he pull a Van de Velde? And really, you know what? I have to say, from a golfing perspective, this stuff happens all the time. I mean, if all of us have 3-putted a hole, 3-jacked a hole, and you can't imagine what the pressure's like in a tournament with the money on the line and everybody watching. Golf scores can go south quickly. I putted into the water one time, so I feel for the guy, and I just it's not that it's a hard hole. That's what Stanley was saying, but golf is a hard game, and it's hard. You can say and go, how come these guys are professionals? How come we couldn't just take a 7-iron and bring it in? It doesn't work that way. It's all about nerves. It's all about executing in the moment, and sometimes that moment goes south. So cheer up, Kyle. We're on your side. Happens to everybody. The PGA Tour thing I really wanted to talk about was the tournament that wasn't a PGA sanctioned one, but everybody had their eyes out on Abu Dhabi, where Tiger Woods was playing around with the lead before he faded at the end to finish tied for third. Again, Rory McIlroy finished second, but who cared? Everybody was waiting for that first big official W from El Tigre, from Eldrick, and you know what? I think it's going to happen. I didn't watch any of the tournament coverage, but I did catch some of Tiger's play in the President's Cup, and saw him a few more of the highlights for that tournament that he did win, the Invitational. And I got to say, it does look like he's back. And I'm not going out on too much of a limb here when I say I think when we hit Augusta in April, I think Tiger's going to be right in the hunt, if not the favorite to win the Masters this year. I just think he's hungry, he knows how to win it, and it looks like he has all the tools necessary back in his bag. So, boy, nothing better for the golf media world, nothing better for a lot of golf fans who really, if you only care about golf, you want to see Tiger back. So, all right, we will roll right into our next segment now, which is Places to Play. And if you go to our website, which is playablelies.com, there, I remembered it this time, you'll see we have a review up for Northwood Golf Club, which is in Monterey, California. Now, Monterey is in the Russian River area of California. It's in Sonoma County, so you are close to wine country. It's near Guerneville, if you're familiar with that city. Just a little bit west, sort of due west of Santa Rosa. So I'm telling you about this course. It's a 9-hole course, Northwood Golf Course, or Northwood Golf Club. And you may have heard of it. It's usually on the top 9-hole courses lists, partially because the course architect was none other than Alistair Mackenzie. But I'll tell you, the real reason to play this course is not because of its heritage, design heritage, but because it's in the middle of a redwood forest. I kid you not. You would never be able to build a course like this today. Rightfully so. Environmentalists would be all over you. Nobody cuts down redwoods anymore. Nobody plays golf around the bottom of redwoods. But this course was built in the 1920s, 1928, I believe, and it is in a grove of redwoods, and it is stunning. There's really nothing like playing golf in a hallway of trees where you have no chance at all of getting the ball up and over a tree, or around it sometimes, because these things can be, 5 feet wide. It is just an experience like I've never had before. I've played it several times, and every time it's just, it's a completely different game. The redwoods, take you out of your head. It makes you think. It makes you crazy. If you have a friend who does nothing but hit straight 3-irons, don't bring him there because he will kick your behind. And Northwoods Golf Club is all about hitting it straight, not necessarily long, but I'm telling you, it's a great experience. Go check out our review at playableeyes.com of the Northwood Golf Course. I have a detailed explanation of all the 9 holes, a little bit of history of the area, some pointers on when to play and where to stay, and where to grab a cold one when you're done. All right, moving even more quickly along to the next segment, gear. It's the year of new gear. I have finally made up my mind after looking at my bag and realizing that there are clubs in there that are older than anybody in college, and I'm still trying to play with them. It's time. It's really time to update my rig, update my technology. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time every week talking about where I'm going with the hunt for new clubs, the hunt for new gear. And I just got in the mail the Sports Illustrated Golf Special Gear magazine, so that's going to keep me busy for the next few weeks as I dive through that. I'm going to start out with the big dog in the bag, the driver. So if you have any suggestions, tips, experiences on playing with the new drivers and the new technologies, go to the website, playableeyes.com. I'll have a post up there called the Search for New Gear, and you can chime in there. But definitely looking at those TaylorMade R11s. I tried one of those out last year, and boy, it just all feels good. And it's time not just to get new technology, but I think I'm going to go get a professional fit as well. Every article, every magazine you open up says, go get fit. And it makes sense, right? I mean, you wouldn't buy shoes that don't fit you, so why buy golf clubs that don't fit you? Let's wind it up here with a suggestion of another website to hit. I have been following this site for about a year now, and I've got to tell you, one of the most enjoyable full-time reporters who's out there covering the tour is a woman named Stephanie Way, and her website, her own website, is cleverly titled Way Under Par. That's WEIUNDER par.com. And she's a freelance writer and contributor to Sports Illustrated Golf. She also writes for the Wall Street Journal and does some stuff for ESPN.com. But I just love her own blog. She's out at all the events. She knows the players. She knows, she sort of knows the vibe of the league. And I just like her take. And she's on Twitter, which is great. It's a great way to stay connected to a tournament without being tuned in, because she always updates. She has funny pictures. So go check it out. Way Under Par, WEIUNDER.com. I'll have that link on my website as well. That's it. That's our first golf podcast for the Playable Eyes blog. I'm Paul Kapustka. Please stop by the website, playableeyes.com. We'll have a email list sign up there soon. You can sign up for us there. You can comment on our course reviews. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and until next time, go find yourself some playable eyes.